Microsoft, okay, Microsoft is not a trading stock. It's way too slow. Or I mean, yeah, it's too slow. Like it's not a great day trading stock. It's not a great swing trading stock. It's a very slow name. ADR is 2.4%. That's the average daily range, compared to something like Tesla that is at 4.2%, or something like, I don't know, Shopify that's at 4.9%. You know, you want stocks with high ADRs. Microsoft is a very, very slow name. I don't think it's a great trading stock at all. Security selection is very important in this game. You want the fast-moving names. You want the fastest moving, most liquid names when you trade. And cut all the random stocks out. It's very hard to do. It takes many years. But you only want to trade the best of the best. And look, for example, something like Nikola, ADR is at 20.8%. That's like what, 8 times higher than Microsoft. That's a huge difference. Yeah, Snap. Yeah, it's a grinder. It's a grinder. What can I say? Yeah, no problem, Duplians. Yeah, Apple is pretty slow too. Apple is even slower, 2.2% ADR. Yeah, these are not trading stocks. They are, you know, they're great trading stocks if you have longer time frames, like for position trading. But for day trade, shorter term trading, they're just not good. Because you can get more bang for your buck on faster stocks. Labo looks good. This one I'm stalking. Like if you look at XBI, I think it's like a small mid-cap biotech ETF. It looks great. It looks amazing. You have a big run from mid-March to early May, and now it's been going sideways for about a month and a half almost, or a little bit over a month. It looks good. The large cap biotech index looks also really good, or ETF. But I think Labo is based on the small cap one. So yeah, Labo looks good. Like if XBI breaks out, this thing could easily go to 60, 70. I am watching this thing. DraftKings is about to break out. Yeah, well, I mean, both the ETFs look the same. I mean, both IBB and XBI look pretty much similar. They look great. So I don't know about that. There's a bunch of small cap biotechs that do really well. That are doing really well. But I'm gonna trade the ETF. I'm not gonna bother with the individual names. This AMD is still setting up, like it's still building higher lows. Like I have to believe this thing has to break out one day and go, but it's been such a laggard for 2 months. But it is setting up nicely on the like all time frames, weekly, daily. It looks good. Just a laggard. mRNA, yeah, just wait for the breakout. I'm just waiting for this thing to at least start breaking that 66 area, 66, 67 areas. Those are the areas I look at on this thing. It is setting up really well. It's building higher lows on the 60-minute chart, a weekly chart. You know, I mean, once it breaks this 67, I think this thing goes back to 80. I really do. It looks super explosive. Codex, yeah, maybe. Spotify needs to set up. Like it had a secondary entry yesterday. Like it had a great entry when it broke out of this IPO base on the day it announced the Joe Rogan news, and it had a breakout yesterday. But right now, don't buy it here. You know, it's way out from the flag. It's way above the flag base here. You know, you gotta follow specific. You gotta buy as close to a base as possible. If you want an edge. Chasing is it's not good. You know, just wait. There's so many other stocks that are starting to set up, so I wouldn't buy Spotify here. Or you could buy on pullback if that's your thing. Absolutely, you know, pullback to the rising 10-20 day moving averages. Absolutely. My scans. Sure. This is strongest scan. This scans a specific watch list I have of the strongest stocks. Most of them are growth stocks. Then, like EP, these are stocks that gap up 7.5%, or are up at least 7.5%. Above yesterday's highs and at least $15 million in dollar volume. Then I have my momentum watch list. It's also a specific watch list I have. Pretty much scan stocks that are up today in that watch list above yesterday's highs. This OTC scan, you don't have to look. I'm gonna take it off. I don't trade OTCs ever. Like the OTCs are dead. They've been dead for many years. ETF scan. $30 million in dollar volume and 6% ADR. And then I have lower liquidity, higher ADR. These are pretty much like stocks that are not very liquid but have a very high ADRs. So you can take a smaller position and still make decent money because the stock is likely to make a bigger move. So those are my intraday scans. Then I have my weekend and overnight scans. Also, which I use to build my watch lists. Pretty much, I pretty much scan for the strongest stocks on every time frame, like 1 month, 6 months, 3 months, 2 years, 1.5 years, etc. And they all look the same. Like 60 million in dollar volume, 3.5 ADR, and ranks among the 7% strongest. And they all look the same. The only difference is the time frame. Then I also scan for the biggest 5-day gainers, $60 million volume and up 25% in the past 5 days. ADRs, these are the foreign stocks. You have to scan for them separately in TC2000. $60 million in dollar volume and 3% ADR. So those are pretty much my main scans. Then I also scan for the biggest losers, 1 and 2 year time frames, just to find the beaten down names that could make big moves.